Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to episode 61 of Virtual Coffee with Francois. My name is Francois, and I'm really happy to have you all with me this morning. Thank you very much for showing up once again. As I said before in a couple of episodes, I love when people are here live. It's really amazing to be able to engage with you, in real time, and just sort of see what you're saying and what your thoughts are, and just seeing everybody getting along and really sharing their ideas and that with one another and building relationships, because that is what this is all about. It's really amazing. So somebody sent me a message yesterday talking about, did you think that lockdown would last this long? And he said 7 weeks. It's actually been 8 weeks now. Today that lockdown has been in place, or tomorrow, but for me today is exactly 9 weeks since we started this, because I started a week before lockdown. And at the time I thought, let me see how it goes that first week, and then for lockdown, that 21 days, I'm going to go live every single day. And then this happened. It's amazing. You start off with something, there's no clear plan or anything like that. It's only that there is a big reason behind it, why you started. And that reason had nothing to do with business or anything like that. I was looking for a way to really, have an impact and just help and just give a place for people to come and spend some time and just feel like you're not alone at your home, just battling through everything alone. And you know what? I think from my perspective, this has helped me quite a bit, because it gave me purpose. Every morning I'm up early. I had to prepare every single day for this. And it's been an amazing journey. I learned so much from it. And hopefully, we're on 61. So 5 more days to go for this to become a habit. If I, listen to what Tanya said yesterday. So we're really doing well, and we're moving in the right direction, which is very important, obviously. And as you can see, probably my hair has been cut. I'm no longer the mascot for the Lions rugby team, hopefully. And I posted the video a little bit earlier, and I sent you all the link on WhatsApp this morning to watch before the show. So you're welcome to go and watch it. It is there. It'll be on, if you go to my YouTube channel page, it'll be under uploads. I think you'll see it there. Or if you click on videos, you'll also be able to see it there. I haven't had time yet to create a unique link for it, but I will probably do it today. So it'll just be something like francois.co.za/haircut. Something like that. If you go to that URL a little bit later, it won't work right now, unless you're watching the recording. Then by then it is probably working. So some interesting stuff. Yesterday we had Tanya Kunze here on the show. It was really amazing. The feedback was fantastic. Very positive thing. She let me know that her phone didn't stop after the show. So she was busy the entire morning. There was a couple of people asking me for details to get hold of her. So really, really happy about that, and it's something that I really want to go into deeper over time, talk more about this. And I'm also thinking about getting her back to talk about sales and all of that stuff as well, because that's also a space in which she really, do a lot of work there. And also then bringing together the neuroscience and the sales part, so that we can do sales the right way. Because yes, sales can be sleazy, definitely, and there are sleazy salesmen and sales ladies out there, absolutely. And but that's not what we're about. So we want to learn, how do we do it? How do we really connect with people and really help them? If that's our purpose, then that's going to make a difference. Then also, yesterday was quite a busy day. But yesterday I also presented the SME show. So that was at 11 o'clock yesterday. So that is also available. It says here on the screen, episode 5. It was actually episode 6. But we spoke about small business compliance. I know there was a couple of you that was there. So thank you very much for that. That's also available under the small business playlist on my YouTube channel. So you can go check it out there. Ida and I discussed, everything that a business must have in place, everything that must be done monthly and biannually and annually, and so forth. We spoke about CIPC, SARS, and UIF, and the compensation, the workman's compensation, and all of that. So really all the things that needs to be in place for any business to make sure that you are always compliant and up to date, and everything that goes with that. And also some of the issues that we see, when we work with people in that sphere. So that's more on the accounting business side, but very valuable for business owners. So you can go and check that out. Then, so quite a number of things that is happening at the moment, but let me just quickly say a quick hi before I get into today's session. Thank you very much for all the comments. Good morning, Quibus. That's very nice to have you back. 61 out of 61. Terence, thank you very much. Good morning. Nice to have you here. Very nice to see you. We've got Neil Strydom and Denise and Raymond. I've got Elmin. Elmin, good morning. Nice to have you back. Malcolm, Arun, Shlanganani, and then over on LinkedIn here. So we've got, so that's now nice. If you missed us yesterday, we're now able to pull in the comments from LinkedIn. So I no longer have to look at my phone and have two things running at the same time. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, good morning, Chart. I also don't know who this is, but good morning, LinkedIn user. Very nice to have you here. Peter Strydom as well. Peter, you're also regular. Thank you very much. My good friend Rizan, welcome back. And yes, so Arun, that's right. It's me after a haircut. Wash hands, wash hands. Good morning to, I don't know who this LinkedIn user is, but good morning. So unfortunately, maybe some of the things, if your privacy settings disallow, like, you know, maybe some of the things to be pulled through to us, then unfortunately I won't be able to show you here. But good morning. Thank you very much. Mark in Australia. Mark, thank you very nice for being back. Renata, I'll see you a bit later. Yesterday I was unable to attend your session, but I promise I'm there today. And then Arun says, Tanya's session yesterday was very much appreciated. And I can really see that. Thank you for that, Arun, because I can see it from the feedback. You know, that's amazing. The things that we receive afterwards is usually what just makes me smile. And I said, somebody else, I think it was Denise that sent me a message, and I said to her, thank you, make my heart dance. You know, so it's really amazing to know that there are people that are really impacted by what it is that we do, and I can't ask for more than that. Yes, Peter. We'll see how far we go. Good morning, Marlies. I've got Ian Kuketsu, and then Francis. Good morning, Francis. I hope you're all well. And then another LinkedIn user saying, good morning, everyone. So sorry if I can't show your name. But yeah, that's cool stuff, guys. Yeah, so that's all the greetings this morning. I want to get into the show. And to do that, I need to share my screen with you. I also need to move some things around just for a second. So yeah, obviously, if you want to go and watch the video, please do so about the haircut. It was quite an experience. It's about a 50-minute ordeal that I condensed into a 2-minute video. So if you're on the WhatsApp list, I did send it. If you want to be on the WhatsApp list, let me know. I will add you. And then you can also receive some notifications like that. All right. So let me see if we can get this going. And please, while I'm putting up the information, please subscribe to the channel or connect with me on LinkedIn. I really appreciate it. And if you can give us a like, also the video about the haircut, give it a like so that the algorithm knows that this is a cool video. But also for the live streams, please give us a like. And even if you're watching the recording, please hit the like button, share this over on LinkedIn, the same thing. Please react to the video, share, comment. If you comment on LinkedIn on any post, that helps that post so much more than just merely, sharing it. It's amazing. On other platforms, sharing is a very powerful thing. The more people share, the more that thing would get legs and move throughout the network. But LinkedIn is a little bit different. So if you can please help with that, I'll very much appreciate that. Then also something that I just need to mention quickly is that Sandro Forte, as I said, he has given me all the scripts and everything that was promised in episode 54. I did make it available. If you can go to francodetoy.co.za. I'll put it on the screen a little bit later, but francodetoy.co.za/scripts. You'll find it there, and there's a link to download all the scripts and all the documents that he promised. There's also then a link to his website and his free application that you can download, as well as his book. So if you're interested in getting his book. Alrighty. So that's sort of all the stories for today. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. Good morning, Renee and Casper. Let me share my screen with you quickly. All right. So there we go. So let me just make sure that I'm sharing the right one here. All right. So there we go. Good stuff. So yeah, so today what I want to talk about is 4 habits. This is actually as part of a webinar that I did that I called the 7 habits to build a legendary practice. But today I'm just going to talk about 4 of them because the show is shorter when it's just myself. But this is some very powerful stuff that I use in my business and that I've come to learn over time what does really make an impact. working with so many financial advisors, not just now in my business, but throughout the years since I started in 1998, there's a lot of things that you see and that you learn from, if you look at the people that are successful, and I can clearly see that there's like different things that mean different things to different people. So successful one may mean, they look at the amount of money that they're making. Somebody else is looking at the amount of time they get to spend with their family. Some others look at the kind of clients that they work with. So there's a whole host of sort of things that are important to people and against which they measure their success. But if I look at all of that, and it's a very clear path, and that's also maybe something that we can maybe talk in a session. It's something that I do in a talk as well, where I talk about what is the difference between the successful and the average, because sometimes it's small things, but those small things make a big difference, and it often comes down to habits. And that's sort of where this whole sort of session came about, or where it came from, is to say, well, which habits do I need if I really want to build that legendary business? And there's quite a number of things that I learned and quite a number of things that I realized throughout that journey of putting all of this together and just thinking about this. And I think that's something that we don't do enough. Some of the aspects of this I have mentioned in other episodes before. So I'm not going to mention them again today. So you'll have to go and figure out which ones those are. But yeah, let's see. And there's also a video that I'm going to play as part of this. So we'll see whether that is going to work through the live stream. So let's see. Okay, so let's get into it. So I first want to start off with, what a habit is. And this was sent to me quite a number of years ago by a guy called George Colby. George and I used to work together at Liberty, and then he moved. He's the head of, I think, risk products. George, don't kill me, but at Momentum at the moment. But a great guy, and he's always got these interesting things and an interesting way of sharing things with me. And this was one of the things that he shared with me, and I actually printed it out and stuck it to the inside of my closet. And it's something that I was reminded of all the time. Every time I open my closet door, there it was. So I want to read this to you. It's going to come up on the screen. You can read it with me, and if you want to sing it as well. But yeah, this is called the habit poem. So this is how it goes. Alrighty, the habit poem. And I don't know who wrote this, by the way, but I'm your constant companion. I'm your greatest helper or heaviest burden. I will push you onward or drag you down to failure. I'm completely at your command. Half of the things you do, you might as well turn over to me and I will do them quickly and correctly. I'm easily managed, but you must be firm with me. Show me exactly how you want something done, and after a few lessons, I will do it automatically. I'm the servant of great people and, alas, of all failures as well. Those who are great, I've made great. Those who are failures, I've made failures. I'm not a machine, though. I work with the precision of a machine plus the intelligence of a person. You may run me for profit or run me for ruin. So powerful. It makes no difference to me. Take me, train me, be firm with me, and I will place the world at your feet. Be easy with me, and I will destroy you. Who am I? I am habit. So this is so. I mean, I get emotional every time that I read this because this is so powerful. And if you really think about that, it's the only difference, I think, between successful and unsuccessful. But if you have to distill it down to one thing, it's habits. It is what we do every single day without thinking about it. And some things are building us up and taking us forward, and some things are breaking us down and taking us backwards. There's this very interesting thing. I actually should put it on a slide or something, and I can't remember where I saw it, but it does, I think, come from Atomic Habits or something, or one of those habit sort of sessions or books or talks, that if you just make that 1% additional effort every day, so it's mathematically, so 1.01, because you add a 1% and then you do it to the power of 365, because you do it every single day. You add 1% every single day and it compounds. You sit with, I don't know, 376% or something, 365%, that you sit at. But if you're at 0.99, okay, so if you're at 99% and you do that, so it's 1% less, you don't give you 100%, you can see how that reduces over a year to almost nothing, and mathematically, obviously, that's very, very powerful. And it makes you realize that, whoa, there are some things that I need to really think about what I do. And am I using my time effectively? And I'm at that point again in my life and in my business where I said to my wife, when I'm done with this session today,
want to go sit on the stoop, and I just want us to say, well, which of these things are really, really important to us, and which of these things should I still be doing? Because the question in my business is, if I stop doing this, am I really worse off? Because I'm extremely busy, and there's a lot of people that are asking me for things, and I help, and I do it from the love of my heart, but I do it for free, like all the time. And it's fine. I have to do things for free. And I usually, there's a lot of times where people ask me, send me an invoice, and then I just don't, because it feels like I helped you, and I wanted to help you. That wasn't business from my point of view. But there's a lot of things that I'm doing for a lot of people, and I'm starting to question whether, does it really make a difference? Because if it doesn't make a difference, I don't really want to do it. And that question is really, does it make a difference for you and for me? So yeah, I need to, that's sort of some of the questions that I'm struggling with at the moment, to say, well, how do we go forward? Because I've only got so much time in a day. And my point with all of this is not to tell you that I want to change some things. The whole point of this is that you're probably finding yourself in exactly the same position, where you're doing so many things and you are incredibly busy. And then you get to the end of the month and you go like, I don't really have anything to show for it. I don't know if you feel like that, but for me, that is it happens often. And it's simply because some people spend their time only on certain things, and then others like me are spending our time on a lot of other stuff. And, we don't move forward, and I've been doing it for years. And I don't know, possibly you feel the same way, and then that you find yourself in the same place. And that sort of, all of this stuff is what always makes me think about, like, what am I doing? What am I focusing on? And this is where I want to get into some of the habits. Some of the problems that I think, or some of the mistakes that we make, is that when we are building our business, our practice, we look to the very successful people, right? So we look at them and we say, well, you do all of this stuff and it's fantastic, and that's who I want to be. And you must have a role model. You must have something or someone that you are aspiring to. It's vital. You have to have that, but you also need your own vision and where you are going and your reasons for doing what it is that you are doing. But I think the mistake that we make is that we focus on trying to be these people who are way down the line. They are in, they are already in Cape Town, and we are only getting started in Piet Sonnewater. And sort of the habits that you need to get started are vitally different from the habits that you need to maintain your business. When you've already reached that sort of peak of your business and you're now starting to maintain your business, or if you've already, created that business that can run without you, probably, if you then want to grow and branch out and do things, it's so much easier to do it. And the habits that are required at that point in time are vastly different from the ones that you need when you're starting out. And the problem is that the very successful people know what it is that they're doing that's making them successful, but they've moved on from the things that they did when they started out. And, often we are comparing ourselves to these people and putting them on a pedestal, and then we just don't get there. And then we feel like giving up sometimes and say, like, this is not going to work. And I believe the simple reason for that is because we're not in the same place in our journey. You need somebody who's just a level above you. That's on that next level that you want to go to. So you can't go from, I'm on the ground floor, I want to go to the first floor, but I'm looking at somebody who's already on the 8th floor, who's climbed 8 flights of stairs, and I want to skip like these 7 steps and just go to 8. You can't. You have to go step 1 or level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. And so what you need is somebody who's just at one level above you to pull you up to the next one. And then somebody who's a level above you and then we need to be doing the same for people who's then a level below us. And then we also got to be working with people who are on the same level as us, because we need some motivation and some, let's keep going and all of that. So I think that is also something that we must just keep in the back of our mind. Now, as I said, normally this talk is about 7 habits, where we focus on 7 habits. And this isn't about the 21 days or the 66 days or 95 days or whatever it is to establish a habit. It is absolutely not about that. This is plainly about, like, what are the 7 habits that you can use today? And it doesn't mean that you need to be new to use these. But if you find yourself in a rut, if you find yourself that you feel like you're battling and you're just not moving forward, you're standing still, then these habits are definitely going to make a difference in your life. And, we've spoken about so many things, and I want to ask you for some feedback at some point to which of the things that we spoke about in the how many episodes at that point in time, how many things have you implemented? I get messages from some people say, you know what, I learned that we implemented this today. And that's amazing, because if you can just take one thing, or if there's just 2 or 3 things from everything that we did, but you implemented them and you made them part of your business and your life, and you are actively working on it, then it's going to make a difference. Otherwise, it was just interesting. It was entertaining. You learned a few things, but what are we doing with it? I want you to go out and do stuff with this so that it really impacts your business and that you can really enjoy the fruits of that. So habit number 1, and this is the most powerful one. I've spoken about this in several episodes. And if you really think about it, it's like a no-brainer. But this is about that you should focus on the things that generate income. So this is about you. Okay, so whatever role that it is that you're fulfilling in the business that you're in, whether it's your own business or you're working for somebody, but whatever role that you are fulfilling, you need to think about, of everything, or that whole list, my whole job description, which of those things actually generates income. So before you get down this road of really, franchise, is this really a habit that we need to look at? Well, my answer to you is absolutely yes, because we find that we spend so much time on things that we shouldn't be spending time on, and we are very busy, and but those things aren't really generating income. And I think some of the examples that I can give you is to say, well, for instance, if I did work, then an invoice must be issued. So often I'm the one that sort of speaks to the client, gets the instruction, then I do the work, and then I go and issue the invoice, and then I follow up on the payment, and I do all of that. So is the invoice generating income? Well, some people may say yes, but the simple answer is no, it doesn't. Okay, it is vital for you to get paid, but what really generated the income was me talking to the client and getting the work and doing the work. That is what generates income. So, from that point of view, it's really no, then an issuing invoice is not something I should be doing. So either the accountant must do it, or, somebody else in my business must do it. And for them, it may be it's important. We need to get the money in. So for them, it's an income generating activity. But for you, it may very well not be. So we've got to be very critical about the things that we do. And the easiest to start off is just make a list, and just make a list of everything that you do. And then you're very critical about each of those things and say which of those are really, really important. And then what I want you to do is to list three. I've got 4 things, and I'll share that with you in a second. But go choose 3 things that you must do every single day, not every week, not every month, not every year, every single day, that will lead to you generating income. And you need to go and identify what that is for you, but I'll share with you what that is for me. So for me, I've got to be talking to people. Okay, so I've got to be either meeting or engaging with people, clients, etc. I've got to be doing marketing, so that's important. Then I need to be facilitating or presenting, or doing something like that, or doing the consulting work. So that's what I need to do. And then I need to create new content. So that's the 4th thing for me, because new content, unfortunately, I can't just create a set of things and then that's what it is. Some people are able to do that. But in our world, there's a lot of things that, move all the time. So we need to be continuously creating a lot of content. And that's important. And that's what I've been doing every single day with the show. So those are the 4 things. If I do those things every single day and there's time left, then I can do some of the other stuff. But I first need to focus on these things that are generating income. What could it be for you? I guess, obviously, talking to clients as well, meeting with clients, advising clients. You need to understand, does something like doing an F&A generate income? Or is it sitting with a client and speaking to the client generating the income? You need to be very clear on where you focus on to be able to answer that. So it's not a simple thing. But then you also need to go on and ask yourself a question like, what is really meaningful to you? What is really, really important to you? Do you want to, is it money? Do you want to be significant? Do you want to leave a legacy? What are the things that are extremely important? You're spending more time with your family. What are the things that have deep, deep, deep meaning to you? And then you must ask, well, these 3 things that I chose, is it taking me closer to that? And does it enable me to do those things that have really deep meaning to me? Or is it taking me away from it? So there's these two things that you can use in order to balance the things that you do spend time on. So on the one hand, it is what is generating income, and on the other hand, what is generating the meaning and giving you that fulfillment and satisfaction at the end of the day. To focus on that. All right. So that is habit number one. Habit number two is then everything else you should be delegating or outsourcing. And the problem is, if it's only you in the business, then I would say, you need to start looking for somebody that can really help you on an ad hoc basis, somebody that can read your emails and answer your emails, or, someone that can field your phone calls, or I don't know, just manage your WhatsApp or something like that, so it's not going to cost you a lot of money, but there's small things that you can do to save yourself some time so that you have time to focus on the things that you should be focusing on, and as I said, it doesn't always mean that now you have to have your own team and that you have to have people working for you and all of that. There are other options. Virtual assistants are something that's really popped up. It's been around for a long time. And, it's something that is also obviously going to be more in demand now, probably. It's something that I'm looking into to say, well, how can I, outsource certain of my things, like particularly my email? It's killing me at the moment. So how can I outsource some of that? And I must just say, you remember the episode we did about emails and your inbox and all of that? I've really taken control of that. So it's still a lot of things that's coming in. And for me to get into answering those emails, properly is still sometimes a challenge to get it done quickly. So there's people that's been waiting quite a while. So some of the things I prioritize, obviously the emails, and I know some things are important and it may be more important to the client than to me sometimes. But it's hard, because I want to get back to everybody within 24 hours. But sometimes I've just got so much time at the moment, and I need to put something in place that's going to help me be able to answer quicker. And because that has a huge impact on perception. And so that is really important. And also, you just can't do these things alone. And a while back, and this is why I'm going to try and play the video. I hope you're going to hear the sound. If not, you can just shout in the comments and I'll stop it. I hope that I've shared everything correctly to be able to do this. But a while back, I made a video, and this video is available on my YouTube channel, where I spoke about the reality of being self-employed. Now, this is something that I was sitting, it was more than a year ago. It was a year ago, probably more. Time flies so quickly. But I was just sitting in the car waiting for my daughter. She was doing makeup for people at a wedding. And I was waiting for her to finish so that we can go home. And I was just had these thoughts because a lot of things happened during that week. And I actually share the story in the video. So I want to play you the video, and because I can't say it better today than I did that day. So enjoy. All right, guys, cool. Thank you for letting me know. So I'm going to skip that, but you can watch the video on my YouTube channel. So if you just go search for the reality the reality of being self-employed. You can watch it there. It's just 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes. So it's really something that you can watch very quickly. And that, is definitely something to make us think about. And I'm really just speaking about, the fact that I was driving there and I was thinking about a car, and that, if you try and push the car alone, all of the things that can go wrong. So if you're on a downhill, that the car will probably run away from you and crash somewhere. If you're uphill, you won't be able to push it all the way to the top. And, you need somebody to help you, and somebody if you're steering the car, somebody needs to help push. So you can't really do this all alone. And there's a whole loads of other things that I sort of discussed in this video, but that was the gist of it. So, but anyway, so thank you for letting me know that the video is not working, or that the sound, rather, the video was working, but that the sound isn't coming through. So thank you for that. Anyway, so let's move on. Habit number 3 is something that, I struggled with quite a lot, because when somebody phones, it's like, when can you meet me? And it always feels like we need to meet immediately, and that we needed to meet face to face. So I think those are 2 of the things that has really been an issue in the past. And now, luckily we now, everybody got used to this whole virtual thing. So hopefully we can do a lot more like simple meetings and catching up meetings virtually, because yes, it's great to meet face to face, and it's great to have that time. There's nothing that builds relationships like that. But I think we have to become more, sort of focused on what we spend our time on, as I said before. So maybe let me get into this, and it will sort of tell you a bit more about where I'm going with this and what my thinking is. So do you remember the old school roster? The school roster where you had specific subjects on specific days. Every period had it was like, I don't know, 35 minutes or 40 minutes. I can't even remember anymore. It's too long ago for me. I mean, I'm a grandpa now, so I can't remember that far back anymore. But, that, and then I think the biggest difference between like it at school and now is that at school we had the bell that announced this is the end of the period. This is the start of the period. Now there's a break, and then the break ends. And it was really something that reminded us of these things, and we stuck to the schedule, and we got into this routine. And a lot of people like myself, I hate routine. I hate doing things over and over and over. I want that flexibility and that freedom to decide when I do what. But we mustn't mistake routine for structure, because when you have structure, that's what we all need. And this is what the school roster gave us, is structure. Some will say routine. So routine for me is like you do the same thing over and over and over again. It's the same every single day, every single minute. And there's just a process that runs over and over and over again. And a lot of successful businesses, that's why they are successful, is because they are exactly like that. But for me, this is the one thing that we don't do anymore, is that our calendar is our calendar, and we have complete control over our calendar. And I've seen some of the people that I work with, some of the advisors that I am lucky to deal with. They've started implementing their online appointments, so for people to book directly in their diary. So they set up schedules and all of that. So now when a client books, it's booked. It's not like you can now decide to do other stuff, and now you have to stick to that. So that's one way of getting around it. And you can still have structure through setting that up correctly. But our biggest challenge at the moment is that we don't have a bell that is reminding us. And the other big problem is when I put things into my diary, I've put it in my diary. It's so easy to say, for instance, so let's say I scheduled some time in my diary. And this is also the other mistake we make. We don't schedule time for preparation. We don't schedule time for administration. We don't schedule time for reading, for meditating, for exercising, for anything. And then when we do that, many people, like myself, would not stick to it. Why? Because I put it in my diary and I have complete control. If I decide, I'm not going to go for a walk this morning, I would rather go and take my wife for a coffee, because, I still have that hour. So I know I don't have to spend it on exercise. So I don't stick to my own planning. I don't stick to my own schedule and my own sort of how we block things out. So it's very important that we actually do that. And once we've done that, and also, I mean, it's easy. One of the things that you should definitely have is what I call like just a default diary, or back in the day when I was a consultant, is what was called a call plan. So I would know on a Monday I'm going there, on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are the days that I visited certain advisors, and it was on a specific day and in a specific sort of area that I had to go to. And that's what we did, and I stuck to that, and even if you stick to something like that only for 90% of the time, it makes a massive difference. Whereas if you have nothing, and also what a default diary allows you to do is that you can, well, basically, let's say, for instance, you have a client and a client cancels on you. Often what we do is like, oh, now I've got some free time. I can go and do some other stuff. But if you've got a default diary, so a default diary has sort of two purposes. On the one hand, it's going to give you structure because I do this, then this, and this is my block of time to see clients, and this is my block of time to prepare for something. But then also, you need to have a backup. Like if there's a cancellation, what do you do then? Do you default to phoning for, some of your clients to check in and to maybe see if you can get appointments? Or do you spend that time learning? Or do you spend that time preparing? Or are you working on your marketing? Are you writing an article for your blog? What are you working on during that time? But most of us will default to, let's have coffee. And I love coffee. I love coffee. That's why the show is called Virtual Coffee with Francois. I love coffee. And I will 9 out of 10 times default to that. But it's not productive. It is not the right thing to do. So once you have put everything together, and this is sort of what this picture is sort of all about for me, is that once you do have these things, you've got to protect your diary with everything that you've got. Just say no. It's the easiest way. Just say no. I've started doing that like very successfully, to say to people, I can't meet with you now. I can only meet with you next week. Because often we feel like, and this happened to me quite a lot as a consultant, where you would pitch up, you did all the preparation, all the work, and you would get to the advisor's office and then, sorry, he's seeing a client now because it was urgent, or he's not there, or she's not there because a client called. It's so unprofessional in my opinion, because what if my appointment, if I was a client, would you have still, if you still would have canceled this appointment with me as a client to go see the other client, then I can sort of, okay, then it was really urgent and it was really important. But we need to stick to our planning. And if you give somebody an appointment, rather be critical about, do I want this appointment or not? This appointment, because otherwise it will lead to disappointment. I like that. That was interesting. But we need to be very thoughtful about like the appointments that we make and the meetings and the sessions and the things that we agree to. So many people say, look, it's just webinar after webinar after webinar. Yeah, but you choose to attend all of them. I don't know if it's FOMO, if we like worried we're going to miss out on something. And I'm very happy that you are deciding to be here every single day. It means a lot to me, but you have to be critical about everything that you do. We all only have so much time. The most successful people in the world's got 24 hours. You and I have got 24 hours. So it's just like what they spend their time on and what they delegate and outsource otherwise. So I think that is very important. Then habit number 6 which is habit number 4 today, but habit number 6 of the 7 habits that I speak about is you got to learn to earn. Now, this can mean a lot of things if you just look at that, because it means it may mean to some people like, oh, I don't know how to earn, so I need to learn how to earn. But for me, it's a clear thing that if you want to make more money, or if you want to grow your business, or if you want specific clients, or whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to move to the next level, you have to learn. It's knowledge, skills, and abilities at the end of the day that's going to get you there. Yes, there are other things like connections and all that kind of stuff as well that's important, and relationships and all of it. But the only way that we can add more value is by knowing more, by having more experience than other people, by being able to understand and to listen and just have everything that is required in order to deliver a great experience and a great service and really value added services and goods, or whatever it is that you are into. So very important that we keep on learning. So and this is about, you go and spend, there are some people that I guess would have spent some time now during lockdown just purely focusing on learning. They just do one course after the next, after the next, after the next. And at the end of the day, it's like just reading 15 or 50 books during lockdown. Let's say you read one book a day, or one book every second day. So that means that you've probably read about, I don't know, what is that, 53, 54 books now, 56 books probably. Yeah, 56 books almost. No, 56. Gee whiz. So what is that? Yeah, 27 and a half books. So there's 28 and a, 27 and a half. I don't know, whatever. My brain is frozen. So but let's say if you've read 25 books during this time, we can read as much as we want. We can watch as many videos as we want, and listen to all the podcasts in the world and attend all the webinars in the world. What are you doing with that new information? So for me, learning is small and incremental things that you do every single day. So that's why it should become a habit, where you spend an hour a day learning something, not to spend 6 weeks on end, day after day after day, and just trying to get a lot of knowledge into your head. Because once you know that knowledge, you've got to go and practice it and see how it works. I mean, there's a lot of things that I learned that I thought like, wow, this is going to be amazing and I'm going to make a difference. And then you start speaking to people and you realize like you have no freaking clue what you are doing and the responses, and you don't know how to guide them and lead them, and how to ask the right questions the answers, but you want to get them there and all of that, So there's a big divide between knowing something and being able to do something. And that is what's important from a learning perspective, that you got to do it day by day, little by little. And, we see this in our courses. So this is when we still was able to get together. So this was our personal income tax course, the very first one we did last year. And these are all the people, and some of the people that are here in the picture are also regulars of the show. But so we did this course, and at every single course, it's apparent every single time where, many of these people that are sitting here, you'll see they are either doing NKF6 or they are CFPs. And then what inevitably happens is that they've done this like 5, 6, 7, some 10, 12 years ago. And they are still sort of in that mind, like this is how things worked, but things have moved on and they've changed. And there's always people or, students, however we want to refer to them, that will say to me, oh, I thought it still worked like this. This is what I'm like. And you can see the shock and the horror and the disbelief almost on their faces, And what inevitably happens is that, okay, geez, at least I've got time to go fix it, and then there's new light. So it's not only about learning new stuff, it's also about refreshing what we know already, and you've got to have that mindset about that. How interesting is this? This is like, wow, I'm so grateful that I am reminded of this, because I actually forgot and whatever that may be, instead of saying, I know this, I know everything, I've done this for so long, because I can promise you, there's always something that you can learn, and there's always something that you will be reminded of. So this is amazing. And then also, I think something that is very valuable, and this is something that we are working on quite hard at the moment. So I think the first Ignite members will renew their memberships in June. So I'm working on Ignite. Ignite is my premier CPD offering, where you pay a yearly fee. You can pay monthly or annually in advance. You get access to all the online stuff, the webinars, the long form programs, and etc. Then our courses and the refreshers, you get special rates on. You get some discount when you purchase the tax tool. And then we've got special deals with, or arrangements, not deals, but special arrangements with ComSpace and with Profile Me, and that list is ever growing. So there's a lot of things that we're doing. And one of the things that I'm considering at the moment is adding something else to this that's going to be very valuable, and it's only going to be accessible to Ignite members. So if you want more information, you can go to francois.co.za/join Ignite, and you can read more there what it is at the moment. I'm not sharing yet where we are going and what we are going to do, but the one thing I can promise you is that we are like jacking this up, because we need to grow the membership, and there's some interesting things that we want to do there that will be very valuable to all of you. All right, so let me recap quickly. So focus on the things that generate income first. If there's of all of these things, you can't do all of them at once. Choose one thing and start with that, and do that for 30 days. And then you choose another thing, because remember, a good habit stacks on top of another good habit. A good habit can replace a bad habit, but you can't replace one good habit with another good habit, because then you're going nowhere. So you've got to do that. So focus on the things that generate income first. Delegate and outsource everything else. Block your diary, and then you protect it with everything that you've got. And this doesn't mean that you have to go and schedule every single minute, by the way, of your diary. It's just the fact that block out time, and you can have it in there. When is my exercise time and my family time so your diary may look crazy, but you're actually managing when you're actually doing work for your business, and when you're actually doing work for yourself and work with your family, or spending time with your family, etc. Alrighty, so, and then learn to earn. Those are the important ones from what I wanted to share with you. So those are some 4 of the habits. Hope that that's valuable to you, and that you are getting value from that, and that's something that you can really go and implement and start focusing on. So let me see quickly if there's any comments over here. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, I saw you said the habit poem was written by John Dilemi, I don't know, a 24-year-old stutterer who had a dream of being a great motivational speaker. So that's great, and I think that's amazing. Thank you for that, because I never knew who wrote this poem. I just got this thing that says author unknown, and then. So somebody on LinkedIn said outsourcing is the best solution for admin repetitive tasks. Also means reducing the number of employees in your back office, resulting in less HR hassle and cost saving. Yes, it's something that a lot of people struggle with letting go. You got to do frozen. You got to let it go. Okay, it's hard for me as well. So yeah. So that's that. Physical well-being is our greatest assets. Take care of yourself first. Take wife for a walk to get the coffee. Yes, I like that. I really love that. And I think she's going to go, yes. When I walk out of there, it's going to go like, Sinye. So yeah, it's Vimlesh then, I guess that's speaking there, because Chart says to her, well said. And then Peter says, surround yourself with competent people and employ sound processes. Absolutely. So cool stuff, guys. So back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Thank you very much for your time this morning. I hope it was valuable. You're welcome to engage me. Remember to go watch the video where my wife is cutting my hair, and and let us know what you think. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I wish you a good day. Remember Sandro's. I'll send out an email today as well. But Sandro's scripts at francois.co.za/scripts. Alrighty, with that. I'm off to the races. Enjoy your day. Have a good one. I'll see you back tomorrow. Cheers.